Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Talking Games with Kellie and Andrew. I'm Andrew.
I'm Kellie.
I'm tired, Kellie. All my spooky juices have finished.
Oh, dear.
They're gone. I have no more spooky juice.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Do you have the election juice? Do you have
go
the
vote.
patriotic juice?
Ew, that sounds disgusting.
It does, doesn't it?
Vote, yes. Sorry, it's so confusing. If you're in Ohio and you're listening on day of release, is it wrong to, you know my political opinions. Go vote yes on issues 1 and 2.
It's not like we're getting paid, you know what I mean? Maybe if this was a paid podcast and we had like other people to worry about, but...
I also don't think that they are controversial. Well, they are. I don't think they should be. I think vote yes should be... On issue 2, it's obviously not that controversial. On issue 1, it apparently is, but
yeah.
Go protect women's health.
Yeah.
And
Go
also, if you live in Summit, vote yes on issue 17 to protect people with disabilities.
Yes. Very important stuff. If you can vote, go vote.
Yes, unless you already did, because some people vote early.
Well, yeah, like it's your civic duty, whatever, but also you do get the sticker, so.
Yeah, I mean, if I didn't get the sticker, I wouldn't go. It's the gamification of voting, and I'm a gamer.
I need to be rewarded. I need instant gratification, and the sticker does that for me.
Yeah, this is like a video game. If I don't get a reward, why would I do the activity? I get the little ba-ding trophy unlocked. Vote.
I voted.
Yeah, and I totally don't throw the sticker away when I get home.
Did you really?
I think I usually like set it somewhere like on the counter and be like, I voted. And then like 3 days later, I'm like, okay, I'll get this again later.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Where do you put yours?
Well, one of mine's on my water bottle. The other one, I think, is actually just like sitting in my car. Because we had a special election where we had a special election recently. And I got a sticker for that. Like within this year, we had it. So
yeah, it was in August.
It was just in my car. Yeah. So
I feel like you should go vote if you live. I mean, go vote anywhere. I'm simply presenting what's in Ohio because that's where, according to RSS, the majority of our listeners reside. But if you live in other states, go vote as well. And if you live in other countries, I don't know how your democracy works. But
that's none of my business.
Partake. Do it. We always have like blips that come from unexpected countries, and I'm like, who are you?
Yeah.
If you're listening right now, I know it's slim chances, but if you're in another country, please reach out to me. Like, please, on Twitter or whatever you feel like, reach out and just tell me, hey, I live in blank and I listen. Romania? We could have some Romanian listeners. I feel like a lot of the blips are in like Asian territories.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, like Korea. It's not a lot. I don't think we have like a massive Korean fan base, but there are blips that happen in like Korea and Japan, and I'm like, who are you?
That's interesting.
Yeah, and we'll never know probably because there's no way. It's not like I can like, I don't see who listens. I just get general ideas of where they might live.
Yeah.
So.
Huh. Well, do you know anybody who lives in the Upside Down?
Yeah, my cat.
Oh my gosh, he's a little Demogorgon.
Demogorgon.
Oh, Demogorgon. That should be his Halloween costume next year. That would be very cute.
That's a good idea and also sounds extremely complicated, and he will hate it.
Well, I bring up the Upside Down because big news for people who play Dead by Daylight. Like myself. I actually haven't played Dead by Daylight in a while, but this will certainly bring me back. A few years ago, they got the license to bring Stranger Things into Dead by Daylight. So there was a map, there was Hawkins' lab, there was Steve and Nancy and Jonathan were 3 survivors you could play as, and then a Demogorgon as the killer. They were in the game for a while. I think through season 3, because Steve has his like Scoops Ahoy outfit. But unfortunately, the Netflix removed the license so that the characters still existed if you had already bought them, but if you didn't buy them, they were removed from the store, and Hawkins Lab was removed from the game. So really only people who had already owned these things could still play these characters. And there had been all this like hype around like, are they ever going to bring Stranger Things back? Blah, blah, blah. Well, Dead by Daylight, the team, Behavior, announced today that it's coming back to the game. No news on like new cosmetics or characters or map or anything like that, but they are bringing back Hawkins, and you can purchase Steve, Nancy, Jonathan, and the Demogorgon again, which is very exciting. I only had Nancy, so I'm excited to get Steve and his Scoops Ahoy outfit.
What happens when? So you just lost the costume that you bought?
No, I still had it.
Just new people couldn't buy it.
Right. So like if you had started playing within like the last year, you wouldn't be able to get Steve, Nancy, Jonathan, or the Demogorgon. But if you had bought it back when it first came out, or any of the time that it was available, you still would have been able to play them.
It's Stranger Things Day, right?
It is, which is why they announced it. But it's interesting because there were sort of like rumors this past week that it was coming back, and I think the characters coming to Fortnite was a big indicator that Netflix is being a little bit more generous with the license, so to speak. And the licensing rules have sort of changed now, so these characters probably won't be leaving Dead by Daylight again, which is good news. And also it opens the door for more opportunities, like maybe like a Vecna killer.
That's
maybe,
a fun idea.
Yeah, maybe like Joyce and Hopper skins, or like Eddie and Robin, or even like 11. So
yeah,
because 11's in Fortnite now, so
that's kind of, isn't she a kid?
Yeah, I think
that matters. It's not a violent game, but
Fortnite. No, I don't think. I am not sure that they would bring her to Dead by Daylight because she is technically like a teenager.
Yeah.
I mean, Millie Bobby Brown, I think, is an adult. I don't really know, but she's young, but she was a kid
like
when they
something.
started the show. Yeah. So I don't think that would be the case, but it'd be cool if they brought like Hopper and or Joyce.
I just hit play on a Fortnite trailer by accident and it was full volume and it frightened me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your audio quality is a little fuzzy right now.
Does it sound better now?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, it's because I was playing the Fortnite trailer. I don't know why those two things correlate, but...
So happy Stranger Things Day.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get her in Fortnite anymore, so you already missed it if you're listening to this day of release.
Really?
Yeah, it's only in there for a day.
Why wouldn't it be today? That's so dumb.
It is.
Oh.
This podcast will release one day later.
Oh, I see. Okay. You're looking to the future, and I'm stuck in the past.
Are you gonna go play Fortnite, Kelly?
No, probably not. It's really stressful now. I can't play Fortnite anymore. Like, everybody's too good at it now. Back when I played it in like 2018, I felt like I could sort of hold my own. But now it's like everybody's really good at the game. I don't know what is going on. I don't know where we are. I don't know who these people are. I don't know what their weapons are. There's like Goku's like blasting me with a shotgun. It's like I'm not built for this world anymore, you know? I'm like an old lady now. I can't keep up with the kids.
I mean, this is not on our news sheet, but did you see 44 million people played 2 days ago in one day?
That's really that's wild. But it was like a new season launch, right? And it was like classic Fortnite. Like
it's called Fortnite OG, so it's the original map.
See, I might be able to do that because I remember the original map.
Yeah, but I feel like I'd be even sadder because back in the day I was like, oh, I know where to go. And now it'd be like, oh, you die if you go there. And I'm like, but that's where I used to go.
I know.
So, well, if you want to watch a video, Why OG Fortnite Should Stay by Ninja, it's 10 minutes and 14 seconds.
Not the Ninja plug. That's crazy.
I'm not going to plug Ninja. I mean, I already did, but I'll just...
Yeah, it's too late.
Pretend it didn't happen.
Right.
But if you want to tweet about it, you can't do it from your PlayStation anymore. PS4, PS5 are, at this point, for no apparent reason, losing Twitter support in a week, November 13th. So, this is weird. I mean, I hate Twitter. out of principle. But sometimes I get funny glitches on PS5 and I hit capture and then I want to tweet them. Like the other day when I was playing Spider-Man and I turned into a cube. I thought that was funny and I wanted to share. But I'm not allowed to do that in a week. Is it Elon? Do you think this is Elon related?
I do. I think Twitter is just not a sustainable place for businesses to like conduct any sort of marketing or anything like that anymore.
Yeah. To integrate.
Yeah, so I think that's probably why. And who knows? I mean, I don't know what Twitter's going to look like in like a year. So
if it looks like anything.
Yeah. You hear all these like news stories about, oh, it's going to turn into this or oh, it's going to turn into that. And it's like the fantasies, the delusions of a billionaire who has no one telling him no. So
yeah. Well, I have good news. He's a big listener of this show, so we might be able to change his mind.
Wow. That's interesting that he listens to our show.
What's up, Muskie? We hate you.
Oh, I don't know if I like that nickname. It's crazy that his name is Elon Musk. Like his last name is Musk.
Yeah, it fits his personality.
That's I don't agree because I feel like Musk doesn't necessarily have a negative connotation. It's like Musk to me is like a manly smell. You know, it's like a musk. It's like it's not necessarily good or bad, but it's like, you know what I mean?
I feel like I imagine walking into like a 32-year-old man's house who does not know how to take care of himself. Ugh. And it's truly disgusting. And like you smell in and you walk in and the smell is so overwhelming that it's like makes you tear up a little bit and you feel like you're like going to be sick to your stomach. That's what I imagine. That fits his personality.
Interesting.
Yeah.
His name should be like Elon Odor or something like that.
Yeah, like
because I feel like odor is a lot more straightforward. Like it's an odor, like it's stinky.
It should be like Elon, billionaires are unethical intrinsically.
Yeah.
I feel like my political views don't normally integrate into this podcast. But as PS5 is losing Twitter integration, I am gaining political integration, I guess.
Wow. Well, this is a special election day episode, so.
Oh, yeah. Happy election day. I forgot. Yeah, I'm allowed to have opinions today.
Exactly. You may have an opinion on this next news story, which is that The Last of Us Season 2, the HBO series, is entering production in early 2024, which early 2024 is in 2 months. So I don't really know how this is going to work because the Screen Actors Guild is still on strike. And I think it's different for British actors. So I don't know like what Bella Ramsey's situation is, but I know Pedro Pascal can't do anything right now because he's on strike. So I don't really know what's going to happen there. This may be a very extended production cycle for this season.
That also makes me think that, and I don't know anything, but maybe HBO kind of knows something like that we don't. If they're starting to plan things, I feel like maybe because the writer's strike is over, maybe HBO like kind of has some secret background knowledge about when things are going to end, which is, I know that's probably not, I don't know. That just seems to me like a possibility.
Yeah. I mean, maybe as we speak right now, the strike will be broken.
Yeah.
I mean, probably not, but.
Yeah. I mean, we'll probably report on it because it will have an impact on things. But it's interesting because I heard this news while I was with my mother, who does not care one iota about video games, but she did love Last of Us Season 1. And I mentioned this, and I was like, yeah, so that means, like, realistically, Season 2 will come out, like, hopefully early 2025 at the earliest, you know? And she was not happy to hear that. And I was like, yeah. And then I realized why I didn't care. I'm like, oh, I know what happens. Like, so thoroughly. I'm like, I'm set. I kind of, like, I could tell you how it ends if you wanted to know. And she doesn't. But, like, it is funny because, like, as somebody who's just, is this what people who read the books before movies feel? Like, they're just like, oh, I know how it ends. Like, no rush.
Yeah. I wonder, I mean, I guess not saying that anybody being on strike is beneficial. I mean, people not getting paid is beneficial. But I wonder if, like, having extended time helps a little bit more with Season 2 because Bella,
age.
like Ellie is supposed to be, everybody's supposed to be a little bit older anyway. So maybe it would be, in a roundabout way, not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Like there's more time
Plot-wise.
now. Yeah. So narratively, it makes a little bit more sense. But who knows?
I might agree, except I looked at a picture of Bella Ramsey from Game of Thrones, and you would not know that even 3 days had passed. Like, they do not age.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll do some sort of like aging makeup or something like that.
Well, I'm looking at one picture.
I mean,
of them in like what looks like a prison cell. I don't know if this is from a film or if it's just a photo shoot. They look, they're in a BBC drama. They look a lot older, so I feel like it wouldn't be that hard.
I'm personally of a mind, because I watched Game of Thrones when it came out. I remember them feeling very young during Game of Thrones and being sort of shocked by the casting news that they were going to be in The Last of Us, because you don't realize how much time has passed. To me, Game of Thrones feels like it ended like a year ago, and it ended like 5 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
So, 6 years ago.
Really?
I think it ended in 2019, so 4 years ago. But
that's crazy.
Regardless, I think they can pull it off. And production really, I mean, I don't know if production includes like the writing, rewrites, script doctoring, that sort of stuff. I always assumed that was pre-production, but
I think it's probably, if I had to guess, written completely already, or at least close to, because like Neil Druckmann obviously knows what's up, so he knows how it's gonna go. We'll see. I would say if you're holding out for season 2, maybe just play the second game instead, because it's going to be a while. And also, let's be realistic, it's probably season 2 and 3 are going to tell the story of part 2, so it's going to be a long time.
Yeah.
But something else that might be a long time off is whatever Hideki Kamiya and Shinji Mikami got baking in the oven right now. Whatever they have that is rising in the bread drawer, it's going to be a while before we see the baked product.
Have you been watching the Great British Bake Off?
I actually have not.
Oh.
But
I wondered if that's why you were using all this baking terminology.
No, I don't know why. I don't even know what we were talking about before. Anyway, those two recently departed their studios, that being Hideki Kamiya leaving Platinum and Shinji Mikami leaving Tango. The two of them very famously used to work together at Capcom. They were huge pioneers of the Resident Evil series. Basically, like, fundamental, important figures in early Capcom days. Well, they're having a talk to discuss their futures. On December 16th, during a festival in Tokyo, they're going to be having a talk. This doesn't sound like news, but these two have like a lot of creative gusto behind them, and it seems like this probably means they'll work together, which could be really cool, because like I said, these guys like formed Capcom's early gaming identity in a way that, you know, can't be understated. So I'd be very curious to see what they're up to now, and it would also explain, because when Kamiya left Platinum, a month ago? When was that?
I think it was like August.
Yeah, September 25th. So
yeah,
between our two guesses, it didn't make any sense. It was just like, well, what does he have planned? And now just hearing this news, I'm like, he has something planned. I don't know what it is, but he has something planned, and I'm curious to see what these bros got going.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, December 16th will be here in like a week.
Oh, you're joking, but it really will be. I mean, time goes by so fast these days. You wouldn't even know that a Lies of P sequel was confirmed unless I told you here on this show right now.
Oh my God, there's a Lies of P sequel that's been confirmed? I wouldn't have known that if you didn't tell me here right now.
Well, aren't you glad I told you? Because otherwise you wouldn't have known.
I'm
Not
glad
like you put
told
together
me.
the spreadsheet or put the news together or pretty much directed this show.
Nope.
It's all.
This is news to me.
Yes, the director, Ji Won Choi, pretty much said that they are working on the sequel right now, as well as working on the DLC for Lies of P. So, big, great, fun, exciting news for P-heads out there, for P-brains out there.
Pies of Lee. I want to be a guy named Lee who makes pies, and I call it Pies of Lee.
Oh, that would be really good.
Yeah. And also, like, maybe copyright infringement. I don't know.
Well, let's not worry about that. Let's cross that bridge when we get there.
I'm not crossing any bridges.
It's an expression.
Oh. You know what else is an expression?
What?
Deltarune chapters 3 and 4. Doing pretty good.
Yippee!
In a new update, we had previously been told very overtly by Mr. Toby Fox, creator of Undertale and Deltarune, that we're going to get Deltarune's final product was going to release as one thing. You know, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 were both released separately. And he said, I'm not doing that again. Chapters 3, 4, 5 are going to release as one big, full paid game. He changed his mind. He said Chapter 3 is basically done. Chapter 4 is coming along nicely, but it's going to be a very long time till Chapter 5. So he has decided to release just Chapters 3 and 4 for purchase as soon as Chapter 4 is finished. I don't know. This doesn't confirm if Chapter 5 will be like free DLC or what. But it's good to hear that Chapter 3 is coming along nicely. In my head, I was like, oh, we must be getting close to Chapter 3's release, but then remembered that, you know, that's not how he's doing it. I hope it's not too far.
Yeah.
I guess there's not a lot to talk about. It's just that will put the game... We'll be playing new chapters sooner rather than later. Because I thought, you know, realistically, it's probably going to be not till like 2020, I don't know, 5 or 6 that all of them are going to be done. But now it's probably late 2024, sometime in 2025 is a lot more realistic.
I feel like Toby Fox is so booked and busy these days. I don't know how he has time to make all this stuff. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't know him.
He
Kelly,
makes
I'm not
music.
friends with him.
He makes a lot of music for a lot of different things. He's a collaborator. I mean, jeez.
He works on Pokemon a lot.
He does. And he makes his own game.
Didn't he do all... How much... He did a lot of music for Scarlet Violet, right?
He did the best song in the game, which was the one that plays in Area Zero.
Did he do the
collaborator on it? That whole part was crazy. If you really think about it, not to go off on a tangent here, but if you really think about it, like playing that whole game and being like, oh yeah, this is Pokemon, and then all of a sudden you're in Area Zero and it's like, blah, blah, blah. It's like, what's going on? There's never been music like this in a Pokemon game. I'm scared. There's robots. For me, it was robots. There's like this hunky professor. There's like, what's going on in here, you guys? I'm scared. It was scary. There was story. There was it was kind of scary. That was not what I was ever expecting from that game, ever.
I agree. I feel like that's the only part of the game that has really stuck in my mind post-launch.
Yes, it's like you can't remember anything else. I remember
Area Zero, though.
Arvin. I remember
Arvin?
Penny.
Which one's Penny?
The one with the red and blue hair and the glasses.
Oh, the little goth one.
I don't think she was goth.
I guess I shouldn't say goth so much.
She was a gamer.
She was
a coder.
Socially ostracized.
Yes. And I remember the rival, except I don't remember her name. But I remember that part of the game super clearly because I remember playing it and being like, what am I playing right now? And that was all thanks to Toby Fox's beautiful arrangement.
I do feel that we may have slightly gotten off the train.
Okay, sorry.
But no, why are you sorry? That's the best stuff happens when we hit the brakes and we get off the train and skirt pull into the. I feel like I might be getting off the rails a little bit. I think I'm trying to make a metaphor and I'm just lost. I also had the Area Zero music playing for a bit there.
Oh,
and I'm going to be honest, that really that takes over.
I know.
Whatever you're thinking, it's just, that's it.
It's really intense. So not to diverge, but our last news story of this episode, not a super happy one, but they're all the same. We've been talking about Bungie a little bit. Bungie was not doing great before Sony acquired them. And this report seemingly says that they probably would have shut down if Sony hadn't acquired them. Which is kind of crazy. Because
real life.
If you think about Bungie, you probably think about like Halo, which feels like it can never fail, even though it's been flopping quite a bit.
Even though it has failed.
It's a legacy title, but like the game's kind of it was a slow descent.
Yeah.
And obviously, as we know, Destiny was also I guess it's Bungie. Do you say it's Bungie, right?
As opposed to what?
Bungie?
What?
I knew someone with the last name Bungie. That's all.
It is not. It is not. Never has been, and I
Bungie
pray never
Studios.
will be. Bungie.
Well,
Bungie is a silly name for a game studio. Bungie is rough.
Just trying to bring some levity to this sort of heavy moment. So
Bungie.
I feel like it's not necessarily so crazy, but it's like because it's like Destiny is not really as popular as it once was, and that's really all that's going on at Bungie right now. So it's not so crazy that they would be like flopping, but to the extent where they would like shut down without an acquisition, that's crazy to me.
I mean, when I read Blood, Sweat, Pixels, which is it like talked all about Bungie and Destiny and their past, they're kind of okay, I don't want to be like harsh or mean, but like it seems like poor management and like bad budgetary decisions are kind of baked into the DNA of that studio. Like I don't think there's a lot of incredible planning going on. I am confused because like Sony acquiring them if it saved them, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me because I'm like they still laid people off. So like, is Sony
what's really
just,
getting
like,
saved?
Is Sony just like taking the brunt of the hit? I don't know. And also this is confusing to me because like Sony bought Bungie clearly to like fuel their live service desires. But if Bungie is doing a bad job of that now, I'm like, why did Sony pay $4 billion for that then?
And if Sony is potentially moving away from all this live service stuff, like what does that mean?
It seems like Bungie
for
may
Bungie?
have been a waste of money for them.
It's sad. I think there's a lot of passion in the player base that does exist. And I think that obviously the layoffs of the dev team, the many, many layoffs,
Stinks.
really sucks. And I feel like this is like the one part of the conversation that we always go back to is like, yeah, it's like video games. But at the end of the day, it's like that's a person's livelihood. And not only are they like losing that, but they're also getting all this crap online. And I don't know. It's just unfortunate. It's like, imagine being a part of the team that made something like that and you're proud of the product, and then you go home and you get fired, and then you go online and people are like talking about it in a very it's really unfortunate, and it really makes me feel for the devs.
Yeah, I guess it's like dehumanizing that people are just like, how does this affect Destiny? And it's like, how does it affect me eating? You know?
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I just feel like it's not these stories, it just doesn't feel good, especially when it's like studio that's been around for a while. I mean, it always sucks.
Decades, yeah.
But it's like when it's a studio that has been around for so long, it's like it really shows you like the fragility of the industry right now. And like you were saying, like Sony just blew all this money, and now it's like, I mean, not to say that Sony doesn't have money, but
oh yeah, I mean,
it's
that's
also
fine.
like,
I don't care, but
what's the pivot? Like if they're pivoting away from live service, then it's like, what's Destiny going to be like? To be fair,
what's Bungie gonna do? Yeah.
And to be honest, when Destiny first came out, it wasn't like there was a super heavy focus on live service. I mean, Destiny first came out in like what, 2014?
Yeah.
2013. So it's not like live service games were their bread and butter like they were pretending they were for the past like year and a half, but
yeah.
We'll see. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm sure more intricate details will come out in the near future, but as it stands, it just sucks to read this stuff.
Yeah, it does. It's a bummer.
Maybe I should pivot to talk about games that I played, which
you better
is ironic.
Pivot.
Oh,
pivot right
rest
now.
in peace.
Oh. You know, I will say, we cheese on Matthew Perry's performance in Fallout New Vegas a lot, but he made Benny a very memorable character. And you haven't played New Vegas, right?
I have not, no.
Well, if you ever play it, you will get to hear his performance as Benny, which I will never forget.
I mean, I like him a lot. Well, I liked him. No, I still like him. It's not like his performances are gone. This is not video games, but funny story. I was hanging out with some people. I guess that was technically 2 weeks ago. Like if we were going to talk about Matthew Perry, we should have done it last week. But not that he has anything to do with games. Anyway,
he does. They put him in Fallout New Vegas because he liked Fallout 3 so much.
Yeah, I wonder what he was playing lately.
Yeah,
I hope his games were really good the past couple months.
Yeah,
but I got a text from my mother. I was with a few people, and I got a text from my mother that just said, "Did you hear about Matthew Perry?" And 99% of the time, if she texts me, "Did you hear about blank?" and it's like a celebrity, they're dead.
Ugh.
And I was just in this group, and I just yelled. I was like, "Chandler's dead!" And everybody was like, "What?" It's not that good of a story. It's just what happened.
I mean,
it's just how I found out.
It was jarring because it was like a Friday night.
Yeah.
I remember we were going out for
Halloween weekend. Everybody's out for Halloween.
And we were sitting there and hanging out and having a good time, and somebody was like, "Matthew Perry's dead!" It's like, oh, my God. It was very jarring.
It's just an odd person to die because you just have like this clear image of like his very life-filled performances and stuff. And
yeah,
he wasn't old, so it's like you expect to hear about that in like 30 or 40 years, not today.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Matthew. We're having a rough time with transitions today, aren't we?
Yeah.
Video games. I played some. I wrapped up Signalis. This is another bad story time. I went to go open it on November 1st to continue playing. I was about like 60% of the way through the game, and it said, no. We're not on Game Pass anymore.
Oh.
And I was so upset, and I like stepped back and I was like, I guess I'm done with it then. And then eventually, after enough deliberation, I was like, I'm just going to pay $20. I'm going to finish this game. Like, I need to see it through. And it's not like that money's getting thrown away. It's going to the developers, and I love the game. But it does make me realize that Game Pass really, like, if you're playing a game on Game Pass and it's like less than 2 weeks from expiring, it should tell you when you open it. Be like, hey, just so you know.
Yeah.
Because I would have binged through it before it was gone, but I did not because I didn't know it was going away. But I finished the game. I was only like an hour in when I talked about it last week, but it took me about 8 hours to finish. Absolutely exceptional. Really interesting, classic Resident Evil inspired design. Beautifully grotesque graphics. Really disturbing to look at in a good way. I had a really good time with it, though. I only had to look a couple things up. Most of the obtuse stuff still kind of comes together really nicely. I have no idea what happened in the story. I have a 1 hour YouTube breakdown in my watch later list, so I will at some point, but it is very, very heady and makes not a lot of sense. But I enjoyed it a lot, and it's not on Game Pass, but I still highly recommend it. I also beat Super Mario Bros. Wonder is great. It's just really great. It's
Would
not.
you say it's wondrous?
I'd say it was wonderful. Yeah, I'd say so. It
Wrap
was
it
very
up.
fun though. It was beautiful. I unlocked the secret final level, and I haven't finished that. It hurts a lot.
Oh.
I got to the very, very end of it, and then I died, and it was brutal, and I was very upset. But I'll be finishing that tonight, I'm sure, because I need to finish it. I feel like there's like this open wound, and it will not be sealed until I finish that level. But
Wow.
I've done everything else. I got every other coin. I got every other wonder seed. I did everything in the game except this level. So
Wow. That was kind of intense.
what? That I have an open wound?
Yeah.
That's how I feel. It's like no closure. I need closure. But I'll be finishing that tonight. Highly recommend that game. I'm gonna do something different, Kelly. I'm gonna do something I've never done before.
Uh-oh.
Landed on my front porch today. This is mostly for you, and it's
Oh.
going to be a weird auditory experience for the audience.
Oh.
I got 2 ambios.
Oh.
I got Zelda and Ganondorf from Tears of the Kingdom.
Wow.
I'm gonna open them and review them.
And
Kelly,
make
which
them
one do you want me to open
kiss.
first?
Oops.
Which
Who
one do you
said
want me?
that?
I didn't hear.
Ganondorf.
Ganondorf first. Okay. He's the big one. He cost $4 more than Zelda because,
He's a big
When-
boy.
oh,
And
I was-
women get paid less.
less. Yeah, women get paid less. That was going to be my joke. And then you said that he's big.
Well,
All right. Can the audience hear this?
I can sure hear it. I
Is
can
it
hear
really
the crackle and crumble of the amiibo cardboard.
Oh my goodness, his platform is huge. Oh my gosh.
Well,
look at
he's a big boy.
No, hang on. I want to see what you're seeing. I want to make sure. So I'm showing Kelly Ganondorf.
Wow. Yep, that's him,
He's
all right.
really big. This
Yeah, I
amiibo
bet he
is
is.
huge.
Yep, I bet he is.
It's really high quality though. He got all the muscles.
Big arms, big legs, big head, big
He's
chest. And that's it. He has no other extremities.
big floor. Well, I know that sounds silly, but like, you can see
That's a big
on
floor.
camera,
You
the-
could
the
put another
platform
person
that-
on that floor.
the platform that he stands on, like the amiibo platform, is too small. So they just put a big rock on top of the amiibo base because his feet are too far apart. They had to make it bigger for him.
They're innovators. They're innovating.
Wait. On one side he's frowning, on the other side he's smiling.
He's
gonna see if you can see this.
a man of many. I can't really.
Hang on.
Sorry. He's a
Okay,
man
here.
of many emotions. I'm sorry. I can't.
I have the amiibo right in the camera, but it's too small.
I
It's
trust
ironic
and
it's
believe
big,
that
but-
you're telling the truth.
Yeah. I'll send a picture later if I remember. But he's smiling on one side and he's frowning on the other.
He's
right.
ambivalent.
Next one. Zildor. Zildorf.
Let's go ahead and see her. Crack that bad girl open. I don't like that. I don't like.
You
I
said
shouldn't
it.
have said that.
You already said it, and we can't stop now.
Let's bleep that out.
Nope. She's flying.
Wow, look at her.
Look, her feet are not touching.
She's so slay.
She's cool. So she has the broken Master Sword in this amiibo. Oh, it's really flimsy. Look how flimsy it is.
Oh, God. Well, don't do that.
I feel like I'm going to break it.
Yeah, so maybe don't do that.
I'm probably not going to do that. I don't want to break it. But she has like this big plastic platform going into her
Tush. No, it's kind of
it's
below
more
her
like
tush.
her thighs, yeah.
Her back thighs.
Yeah, but it holds her in the air, so she's floating.
Wow.
She has toes.
Okay.
Well, she's wearing sandals. I'm
That's
not saying
enough.
it. What? Kelly.
I've heard enough.
I really like this amiibo. This segment was poorly planned.
No, it wasn't. We heard the crackling. We heard the review. For visual guides, if you Google Zelda and Ganondorf amiibos, you can probably see what Andrew is currently fondling right now.
Hey,
I'm just, it's a joke. I'm joking.
I'm fondling.
Can you make them
Ganondorf right
kiss?
Yeah.
Let's see it. Let's see it. Here they go. I can't see. Oh, wow.
now. Can you see now?
Yeah. Aw, yeah, woo!
Their mouths kind of aligned. Yeah.
Wow,
You ready?
they kind
You
of
ready?
like
Ready? Watch.
fit together.
You ready?
Yep. Oh, I don't think I can describe what's going on right now.
Hey, whoa, no, Kelly.
Well,
I
that's
had
what it
Zelda
looked like to
stabbing
me.
Ganondorf. No, I had
In
Zelda
the butt?
stabbing in the head.
Oh, okay.
Like
well,
in-
it wasn't the head. It wasn't that head. I'm joking. It's a
Kelly!
joke. What
I
are you
don't-
talking about?
Kelly, you need to go home.
I think
Ganondorf is twice the weight, just to be clear, though.
they kind of fit well together.
They're a good pair. I have my Link amiibo from Tears of the Kingdom downstairs, but I'm not going to go get him.
Yeah, he's not invited, to be
They can
honest.
hold hands. Look how different their hand size is.
Yeah, that's pretty intense.
They cannot hold hands, though.
They could. I mean, they could if they weren't little figurines.
No, they're holding hands. Look, can you see them
Oh my
holding hands?
God, yeah, you really made it work.
Yeah. Okay.
What a beautiful.
I feel like
It's getting a little saucy. Okay, let's turn it down a little bit.
I feel like I may have lost the lead, buried the lead.
Right.
They're good amiibos. Amiibos are very expensive these days, so I only recommend them if you're a hardcore collector like me and my idiot self. Because like Zelda was 18 or 16, and Ganon was 20 because he's a big boy. And like the Noah and Mia amiibos that I got for later this year, or for early next year, I mean, were $40 for the pair. So like amiibos are expensive these days. But anyway, should I talk about video games again?
Sure.
Kelly, did you buy WarioWare or no?
I did not. I'm pretty broke right now. I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
I have good news.
Yes?
You may have made a correct decision.
Oh no.
I'm a big WarioWare fan. I've liked it my whole life. Smooth Moves on the Wii is actually how I got into the series, and WarioWare Move It, the new game, is like a spiritual sequel to Smooth Moves for your Switch, and I got it. It was $50 instead of $60, so it's not going to be quite that long, but it did only take me about an hour and 40 minutes
Ugh.
to finish the game. Which is rough because also, the whole crux of WarioWare is these micro games. They're only a couple seconds long. So you're just like rush, go, go, go. Figure it out as you go. Good luck. But the major downside is that it has to teach you new poses all the time because like it's a motion-based game. So it's like, oh, this is the pose where you stand there with your arms at your side. This is the one where you stand with your arms like out like a bird. This is the one where you stand with your arms in the air. And it's a bit that they do. Did you play Smooth Moves on Wii?
No.
When it introduces a new pose to you, it's like this long mini cutscene introducing you to the pose and making like a joke about it, which is great like once or twice. But for all like 15 poses, they're like 30 seconds to a minute each. So like let's just say it's 15 minutes of that. And it's an hour and 40-minute game. That's a lot of that time spent watching kind of not funny jokes be told. Just to tell you, put your arms at your side for this one. And it clashes so much because the games are seconds long. Like they're like a few seconds, but they spend like a minute telling you to put your arms by your side. And the micro games are like fine. I think I'm kind of old and I don't like motion controls very much.
I don't think that makes you old. I think that makes you quite normal, actually. I think a lot of people don't like motion controls.
Because it's like gimmicky. It's very Nintendo Wii,
Yeah.
But I mean, it's fine. And if you like could get it on sale later or rent it, you'd have fun with it, I think. But at $50, I really don't think this game was worth it. It was quite disappointing to me. I gave it like a 6 out of 10, which I realized is tied with the worst reviewed game I put on my game list this year with Diablo 4. It's quite a negative for me. I really can't recommend this game. If you're really into WarioWare, it's a fine one. And if you have people to play with, like I don't have any roommates or anything, and there's a lot of multiplayer content, which means I just couldn't touch that, and I'm not going to hang out with Kelly. Like, I hate that person.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Oh, crap. I just remembered Kelly's on the podcast.
Oops.
Oops. Thought I was talking to Ganondorf, not Kelly. It's not great. It was fine. It's just not great. And I was really disappointed about that.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's your fault, but it's okay.
I'm glad you said something because now I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah, it's not worth $50, that's for sure.
Ugh, that's crazy for a WarioWare game. I'm sorry. They should not be more than like 40.
Or it should just be long. Like, put way more in there.
Yeah.
It's way too short.
Right.
But to end on a high note, I played a game that I didn't pay for. It was on Game Pass. Brand new release, independent game from Don't Nod, Jusant. It is a game. It's spelled Jusant. It is French. It's about climbing. So it's a 3-hour indie game, and the whole game is about climbing. You control your left hand with the left trigger and your right hand with the right trigger, and you're just climbing surfaces, trying to get to the top of this giant structure. It is a post-drought world, so there's no water in this world. There's a lot of weird environmental stuff going on. You're kind of trying to figure out what happened to this world and also, save your little adorable blue creature that is on your back. Kelly would like the creature, that's for sure. But it's a really beautiful game. I played it on Series X, and the graphics were really, really sharp, and I enjoyed them. Like, it was just a very visually stark game. There was like very deliberate decisions. The colors were incredible. Every design decision felt, like I said, deliberate. And I really I couldn't get enough of it. It was perfect, a perfect length. There were some bits where like the climbing was a bit frustrating, but those were kind of few and far between. And more often than not, I was just in a flow of climbing constantly, and it felt great. Like I said, the story is kind of mostly implied, but by the end, I did end up really enjoying what was going on. And because of the really good design, the main character really hit with me. I just felt the emotions that they were feeling because of this really simple but like high poly design, and the beautiful, adorable little creature on his back. I don't know what the characters' names are because they don't speak in this game. It is all silent. There's notes spread throughout the world so you can kind of get more detailed understanding of the world, but I don't like reading in my video games, so I didn't. That's my thing. If a video game puts in notes or anything, most games I do not read them. And if that makes me a bad gamer, fine.
Well, you're going to jail, so.
Jail?
Yep, because you're a bad gamer, so you're going to jail.
But I'm saying I loved the game.
Well, you're still going to jail. Sorry.
I reviewed 2 games this week, Signalis and Jusant, both full of notes that build the world, and I read none of them. Granted, I did talk about how confusing and nonsensical Signalis was, so maybe that one's a little bit on me.
I'm not going to say anything.
But Jusant comes together regardless of that. I really, really appreciated this game. It's on Game Pass, at least on Xbox. Kelly, find out if it's on PC Game Pass. Would you mind?
Here I go.
There she goes. I think if it was any longer, it probably would have fallen flat at a certain point. But because it only took me about 3 hours, it ended up feeling very, concise.
Hey, guess what?
PC Game Pass?
Yep.
Well, that means I double my recommendation. Maybe you should play it, Kelly. It's adorable. Did you see the little creature on the back of
the
character?
I did. I remember seeing the trailer for this.
I'm going to be honest. I think the trailer didn't hit for me.
Was it last Game Awards or was it at the Summer Game stuff? I feel like it was last Game Awards. Like, I feel like it was a while ago.
Yeah, I feel like we've known about this game a long time, and it didn't hit for me because I was just like, it just looks like it's copying Breath of the Wild climbing. It's not. It is a different idea. I just recommend this game. I think even if you weren't interested in the trailers, I found it way better than I thought it looked, if that makes sense. Like, I thought the trailers looked okay. I thought the game was very fun to play, though, and very beautiful, very satisfying, incredible music, incredible visuals. it really just hit perfectly. And like I said, that time, if it was any longer, I'd be feeling a lot different about it. But because it was 3 hours, it was just a perfect 2-sitting game. If you really have the time, you could probably finish it in 1 sitting because it's just 6 chapters. Most of them are not very long. I just loved it. Truly. I highly recommend this game. It kind of came out of nowhere for me. I saw the reviews were pretty good, and I was like, oh, it's on Game Pass. Because full credit to Xbox Game Pass. Those day one releases are just hitting for me, you know? We got Like a Dragon next week. Well, technically in time of release, 2 days from now.
Oh.
I just finished Jusant. Freaking Persona 5 Tactica. Persona 3 Reload. Yeah. I almost called it Royal. It's not that.
That's
stupid.
crazy. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that.
For Jusant?
For Persona 3 Reload.
Do I sound pretentious when I call it Jusant?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
No,
what would you
just
call
kidding. Jusant. Just kidding. I'm joking.
I feel like it sounds so bad to not pronounce it the French way.
Yeah, I get it.
Like Jusant
that sounds bad.
Gross.
It
Jusant sounds
Jusant.
nice.
Jusant. I took French in high school.
I didn't. I took Spanish, and I can tell you none of it.
I took French. The way it worked in our high school was that the first 3 years were just learning the language, and then the 4th year was learning history. It was very interesting. France is a very old place.
I heard that in the French Revolution, the bourgeoisie was actually vampires, and a young man named Richter Belmont used his whip
Yes.
to whip them to death.
Yes, that's all true. Yes. We.
Nintendo Wii?
No, we. Like the French. We go, we.
Oh, Nintendo Wii U?
We. Thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode.
I'm sorry.
Hope you had a really awesome week. I hope that you continue to have an awesome week. Go out and vote today if you haven't already. And thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week. What are you, Andrew, signaling something to me? What?
Make sure to vote.
I literally said that. I literally said make sure to vote if you haven't already.
I think you should say it just once again. Just one more time.
Okay. Make sure to go vote if you have not already.
Wait.
Nope. I'm done. Ganondorf says he doesn't want you to vote. But Zelda says she wants you to vote. So who are you really going to side with? Oh, but now they're kissing. Okay. Thanks for listening. Bye, everybody. Bye.